welcome back to my channel. This is Wishblend reporting in. This is part 12 of the fan-based project Evolution and EDRPG Addition. Enjoy. Okay, so mini games. We're on to a bit of fun. So exploration discovery. This minigame will be using a random generation system to create a simpler version. As such, the number of stellar objects in each system will be limited to 10 in total, with one high gravity object and up to 9 other stellar objects. If you want a more in-depth and detailed description of the system with more than one star, stroke black hole, please use the random generator system on page 330 of the core book. So basically, you have arrived at an unknown system and not sure what's in the system. So do a full system scan to determine how many gravitational systems you've picked up. So roll 2d10 to see how many gravitational signals you've picked up. Now, if you need a copy of the result chart, there's one at the end of this supplement, well, this update. So you can easily copy it out or print it out, depending on what you want to do. So if you get a 1 to 2, you just basically get the gravitational anomaly, be a black hole, neutron star, normal sun, all that. If you get 3 to 4, you get the star plus one other signal, so on down to 19 to 20, you get the star plus 9 other signals. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit and I'll come back up. No, it's not there. I'll have to. This here, this is what I was looking for. This bit here. This is your basically your tally of basically what you found. Simple sheet. Note the yellow, green and blue. So basically the red is the number of signals you've picked up. The yellow is basically the simple normal discoveries. The green is if it's got any rings, and the blue is any points of interest. Well, then at the end you basically get a total from A, which is yellow, the planets, etc., B, the rings, and C, the points of interest. Then combined total adds all three together. That's how it basically gets worked out. So going back up to this page, so that's basically you roll and that's what you get. I did a roll and got basically the star and 9 other planets. Wow, I've got eight of the signals. I got about 18, I think it was. So you got the star at the top here, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other objects. So you'll have to need another line on the bottom here if you want to get an extra one, but for example it's easy enough to explain. So you then basically roll to get the result. So coming down, this is basically the star gravitational roll. The first signal is always a star. So you roll 1d100 and use the reference below. So as you can see, if it's between these two numbers, like 20 to 24, it's F-type main sequence star with a discovery value of 1500. If it's 60 to 64, it's a black hole and it's 20,000 credits. Because this is basically just the stars, the gravitational anomaly. So that basically will go in here. Then you work your way down the next one. When determining what type of planets are in the system, use the table below per gravitational object. Basically, it's the signals, along with telling if any of the planets have rings or points of interest. So again, it's a D100. You do this per signal. So if you have 8 signals, you do it 8 times. If you have a star and just one signal, you do it the star one, and then you do this once. That's why you basically have the chart to work out your calculations. If you basically get like a 30 to 39, you get high metallic content, 700 credits. Does it have any rings? Basically D10. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Does it have any points of interest? Another D10, yes or no. So it's an easy, simple, go along there, that's what you found, that's the value. Does it have any rings? Yes or no. Does it have any points of interest? Yes or no. If you're looking to determine the makeup of an asteroid belt, or you get an actual 10 when you're doing the rings check above and receive a second ring, but roll none in the ring type below, they're both rocky. So basically, if you basically get like a rocky asteroid ring, and the second ring is basically rocky, if it says none, it's one of those natural roll things. Hotspots are not used in this mini game. So see the mining material section for hotspot mining. So it's basically just the normal. So probing a planet and its rings. Because you've discovered rings around your planet, you need to know what they are and what's in them, what's the value. So to probe a location, you need to have a detailed surface scanner. If you have one fitted, you roll a 1d10 on the table below, which is this one just here. Each probe, you roll 1d10 plus your system skill. So to see if the probe distribution is efficient, you need to reach the planet's size value before reaching the required number of probes. If you reach the planet size value, you get an efficiency bonus payout of 50% on top of the planet's current value. For example, this one here, Mania World, is 5,000 credits. If you reach the correct size, then it's 50% on top of that 5,000 credits, wherever it's gone. Yeah, there. And how does it work? Well, it's simple. You roll a 1d10 on this column here to see the size of the planet. This gives you a planet size value. This is the required probes you need to be under to get your 50% bonus. So for each probe you fire, you basically do your 1d10 plus your system value. That will basically give you a value to add up. If it's higher than this, then you've reached your value. For example, this one here, planet size 1, is size 40. In theory, you should be able to reach that amount with 4 probes. So you roll your 1d10 plus your system skill. Let's be generous and say you got 5 on the system skill, and you get a natural 10. So that'll give you 15 points. So there's 15 here, and if you do it again, that's a second 15. So that'll give you 30 points. And if you do it a third time, that'll get you past the 40 point value. And because you did it with 3 probes instead of 4, you get the 50% bonus on top of the your normal planet value, because you were efficient with your probe firing. And that's pretty much it. It's a simple one. So ring types. if your planet has rings, then you need to find out what type of rings. Note, if you discovered an asteroid belt, it does not have rings, it's already about. So, simple D10 roll to basically come down, see what ring you found. And this will give you a credit value of the reward. And then you're basically doing a simple D10 roll again to see if it's basically the rings have any points of interest. Now, this is the point of interest table. Depending on your location, depends on basically what you find. For example, if you find Guardian biological brain trees in the asteroid rings, it's not going to work. So just re-roll. If it's a Guardian beacon in space, it'll work. If it doesn't, because you're not in space, just could turn it into a Guardian ruin. I'm sure as GMs or players you can adjust this accordingly. So as you can see, we've got false signals. Correction. This side on the left is the point of interest finds from false signals, crash satellite, crash ship, hostile distress signal, AI base, friendly distress signal, biological sample, a ghost ship, abandoned cargo, and an alien signal. Now, if you get the alien signal here, you need to re-roll a D10 again to see what alien signal you get. Now, what is what, shall we say? Well, going down the list, the AI base is actually described in the AI supplement, so the exploration supplement, so you can have a read through that if you've got the supplement. In our base, you find a long abandoned outpost with data logs that reveal horrible experiments performed on a species called Thargoid. It can look damaged and attacked, responsive to green UFO which has melted through material. Bear in mind, these will give different values if you discover them. The Guardian biological will be the brain trees only found near Guardian systems. There might be a ruin or structure nearby. Guardian ruin structures can be discovered in dust over eons. These are all like story hooks for the GMs to tag into if they wanted. Guardian vehicle orbital, basically it's a way to add in the story element to a lot of Guardian fighters if they wanted. So you've got a Guardian structure again. Sometimes it's alive, sometimes it's dead. Not. You can also discover Guardian modules, weapons in the structures. So Thargoid crash ship. That's obviously a description of a crashed Thargoid ship. You've got the barnacles, which basically gives you the meta alloys. Thargoid base, which is the big organic structure you can basically go inside if you've got objects like the probe, etc. There's a big Thargoid computer inside. Guardian Thargoid battlefield structures that are clearly not human origin. Huge organic ships lying about, clearly different races of the war between the Thargoids and the Guardians. You've also got the Thargoid interdiction, where one or more players will get pulled out of supercruise and basically attacked by the Thargoids. Depending on when the game is played in timeline, it's possible no one will believe your players when they say about the encounter, or it could be with a hostile Thargoids that they're constantly attacked. So, the ghost ship. What is the ghost ship? I don't think I've actually got that down here. No. Oh, well, there's only one answer for that. I need to add it in. So if you give me a few moments to modify the file. So yeah, I'm basically going to drop in the stats of the ghost ship here. It's basically where you can find an abandoned ghost ship, basically where it's totally nobody on board. It could be any ship, depends on the GM, and the players could investigate it, salvage it, get parts from it, sell it. It depends on the GM, but it's literally a fully working ghost ship. As to why it's been abandoned, don't know. So yeah, we've got the points of interest on the left. The abandoned cargo is literally just random cargo. You got false signals, crash satellites, ships, and you got hostile distress signals, friendly distress signals, AI bases, biological signals, and alien signals. The alien signals is on the right hand side, but as I say, I need to work on adding all the points of interest details down below, which I've just added a note for. If you basically get certain things like you get Guardian Beacon and you're on the planet, you have to just convert it to a Guardian Ruin, etc. I'm sure normal players and GMs will be able to just make that quick adjustments in the gameplay mechanic. But yeah, say you've got all the stuff there, but we'll move on to the biological signal points of interest. I've put it here so you don't have to you back up through the previous document to find exactly where they are. It's just an easy way to do it. So gambling mini games. Disclaimer is we're not doing this to basically make anybody gamble in the real world. This is a pure in-game EDRPG mechanic. It's not meant to be addictive, it's just something based on the D10 system without resulting just a win or loss by a simple dice roll. So 3 options. You've got play against a bank, where you basically place a bet, roll 2d10, and then you basically subtract your total from the result, or 10 from the result, and then you add your gambling bonuses. For example, if you're a gambling skill of 74, you bet 100 credits, then you roll 2d10, which is a 2 and a 3, add together it becomes 7. You subtract 10, so that's 7 minus 10 equals minus 3. You add your gambling skill bonus to the minus 3. So as it's a 74, you roll down to the first number, so that's a 7. So it'd be a 7 plus minus 3 equals 4. As the result is above 0, you win. That's 100 credit bet times 1.4 equals 40%. So you win 140 credits. So that's basically how that works. The reason the description on based my talking and the display is not quite syncing up at the moment is for this section the mic turned itself off and I didn't realise that there was no recording, so I'm doing a voiceover. But overall, there's like 3 different ways to do the gambling mini games. So the first one is basically just a simple roll. The second one is a card game version, but you need more than one participant. So there's 2 phases. Phase 1, luck, and phase 2, skill. Phase 1, you basically decide a bet, every player has to participate, and each player rolls 1d10 for luck. Player with the highest luck roll adds the lowest luck roll to their pool. In the second phase, everybody rolls a 1d10 and then adds the gambling skill. The player with the lowest luck, play with the luck roll from earlier basically, this sort of thing. So as you can see, for player 1 rolled a 7, player 2 rolled a 5, player 3 rolled a 10. Player 3 roll because they were the highest number with the 10. So they take the lowest number, which is a 5 from player 2, and add it to the roll. In the skill phase, basically player 1 rolls a 4 with, plus the gambling skill of 62, that's 4 plus 6 to 10. Player 2 rolls an 8 with a gambling skill of 10, so that gets a 9. Player 3 rolls a 2, has a gambling skill of 44, so that's 4 plus 2 comes to 6. Now that would be the lowest number, but player 3 also has the highest luck roll. So to take the 5 from the luck roll earlier and add to the total. So the 6 adds the 5 from earlier, becomes 11, which means they win, even though they had the lowest roll. Slot machines is a third, gambling mini game we've got added in. You basically place your bet, roll 3d10, and your gambler skills allow to re-roll. So depending on what percentage you are, the more re-rolls you get. So 20 gives you 1, 40 gives you 2, 63 and so on. So to win, you need three different systems. So that's jackpot, which is 3 10s, a match, which is 3 numbers the same, like 3 1s, 3 5s, etc. Or a row, which is consensual numbers, so like 1 2 3 6 7 8 4 5 6, etc. The payouts are on the screen, as you can see. So it's a simple, you've got your gambling skill to give you how much percentage you would win. So for example, you bet 1,000 credits, you roll 1, 3 and 10. Because you've got a gambling skill of 42, there are 2 re-rolls are allowed. So they can re-roll a 1 and 3 and hope to get 2 10s for the jackpot, but they decide to re-roll a 10 twice to form a row. So for example, they roll a 10 and they get a 6, it's not a valid win. So they re-roll it again using the second roll they allowed and get a 2. So now they have a pattern of a 1, 2 and 3, which is a win. So the gambling skill is 42, so they win 42% of the bet, so it's 1,000 credits times 1.42 equals 1,420 credits. Again, we're not saying go out and gamble your real money, this is just a pure in-game mechanic. So you got fighting school, QCQ, close quarter combat. It's based just like the normal game rules, same as the between defender roll earlier. The only difference mainly is you're actually fighting the fighters rather than doing a simple dice roll. So you got the bets and everything correct, and the 1 basically drops to 0. Basically, escape pod jets and the loser pilots recovered. You got all the ships down here, which we've pre-made, and you've also got a few weapons you can choose that's down below them. And below that we've got some pre-made fighters, which we'll get to in a bit. So if you win the match, you take basically what you bet before you multiply it by 1d10. If you get a natural 1, you only get your state back, but if you get a natural 10, you add 100,000 credits on top of your winnings. Special rules, Solomon will give you a +1 for your first attack. Chaff Launcher gives you 6 chaff rounds only, but it disables gimbal weapons for 1 turn if you're getting attacked, so easy way to get out. EMC works on a scrambler, and attacker ship takes a -2 to hit all weapons for 3 turns. It's the easy way we found to balance it out, but there again it might need readjusting accordingly. So these are basically enemy fighters, but they're still work in progress because Lazarus is updating the create your own enemy mechanic, which is just there on the left. He's done basic humans and animals, but we haven't got the ship fighter stats yet. But I think I just need to work on it. So moving on. This is basically just part of my work sheet where I've got all the different ranks, and I'm basically taking information from here to put onto the other sheets. So it's still a work in progress. This is the create your own enemy section that the last was working on. Basically, you got the normal ground bit, defense, dodge, endurance, initiative, speed. They're the basic template, and you'll basically just add the information in there. He does have a skill distribution mechanic, which I got, but I don't understand it fully. It's basically how the skill distribution works and that. So he did tell me, but as I forgot how it all fully works. So I'm going to have to get him to go through it again. I mean, as I say, the basic gist of it there is you've got a 3-1-1, basically means you've got 3 skills which are at the skill cap, 1 skill below the skill cap by 1 level, and another skill at 2 points below the cap. So it's basically just the ways how strong they are, what abilities they have type thing, as far as I understand. So I'll have to have a real dig in and have a play and just see if I can understand it. Moving on, so we've got human. Oh, no. Just showing you the basic table again. As I say, humans are the basic person. That's the main enemy we're going to get. So you've got the endurance, skill distribution, speed, armor, etc. Then you have the animals, which is different attack mechanics. And then you've got new enemies. So this is basically the thing being explain how you use it. And then we've got some blank ones and that just to explain to use as templates which you can drop in. Still needs work on. Thargoids will be in the next episode because frankly it's just so big. And that brings us to the end of part 12 of the update. We're almost there, guys. One more episode, part, and we've got the full update out there for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Laters.